So often when you have a rental, you want to do a little touch-up paint. You want to do a dabble to make sure it's the correct tint. I did one here, then I did one over here. This one blended a little bit better. But then I realized this was a newer paint, so it probably blends better. Some of the older paint, instead of me going all the way up there and painting, I did a color match. And from my color matching technique video where you put it on and just soften the edges, when it's a slightly different tinge, you can kind of see. And I can't see it the naked eye, I actually see it more in the video. And sometimes it's not just the color that's a little off, but maybe it's got a little more shine. It might even be the same shine finish, but the older one had sat for a while, so it gets dusty. Maybe it'll blend later. But it does definitely blend. You see it a little bit weird because I think it's also the reflection of the blinds here. But also there's one here that was done and you could see it wasn't softened out. So the difference in the color really shows. That's right in here. So I'll probably take another one and blend it out. This should also be filled and it could texture blend in really well with this. But again, when I look at this, I don't see like, oh wow, there's any dirty marks or whatever. But sometimes when you look really close, you see, and again, it's weird because it appears in my, you can see it's a little pinker there, pinker a little there, but yet naked eye, I don't see it. So it's kind of interesting. Maybe there's a little light to this. I'm not sure. Then I started to fill some of these cracks, especially in the snow when it gets heavier because the snow load, or I don't think they did a very good job taping is what I'm assuming. So I get the putty and I was gonna fill this and then just paint and soften out. But what I noticed is it's the black that really draws your eye. And you can see sometimes you just go this way with it and it fills it in. You could definitely paint it over, but that's another step, and the color might not be the right sheen, or the old color is faded, you know, especially if you're doing something outside. So this is a damp cloth. This product I just got, you can get it anywhere, Home Depot. But you can see I just kind of tap this through. You don't want to go this way because you'll end up removing the product. This that I already did, you can see one spot's not even in there. That one removes a little faster, but see how much it blends there. Actually, you see a lot more white in this video, which is a trip. And then this line is it shows up more. But this way, when somebody moves in or you're having guests, it's a lot less noticeable than this dark line. And a lot faster. You'd have to fill it in anyway when you do painting, but then you don't have to worry about the color matching. Have fun. Oh, and this product is just a spackle. I got this at the dollar store. Bye. So here, where is it? See this line? It's a pencil. I don't have a pencil. I don't have time to paint this whole wall. I have a color that's very similar. It paints lighter, of course. So what I did is here's the line with a dryish paintbrush. I cover up the line and then soften it out, soften the edge so you don't see it. When it dries, it will dry darker. See how this line is here? You want to break up the line and do blending. Don't do a solid. You'll be painting the whole wall. It'll look like an eggshell, but especially with this texture. So see how it just kind of blends a little bit better? If you see a line still, go ahead and touch it up and just blend it out and get rid of this stupid line. Look at, they drew a line in order to make the painting straight. But anyway, again, it's lighter now, but it will dry softer. There's a couple of spots right there that's stronger. I'm gonna go ahead and paint that, and then it will dry again a little bit darker. Unfortunately, the sheen will be a little bit off for a while because the room has a little bit of dust. This is brand new, so it's probably gonna have more shine, even though it's the same shine base. I think this is a satin, hopefully. Anyway, good luck. So we're touching up some walls. There was a little crack above here. I just whitened it with the little putty and then tapped in with my brush and swiped it. You could see here the shine is off, the color's the same. I even wiped the wall below, wondering whether or not it was just dust on the wall, and I think some of it was. But every can, even though it's the same, it comes out a little bit different. But from afar, and you could actually see it more by camera, the light's shining right there. I think it's also still drying. But there was a big pencil line there before, and so a couple of holes from the hanging pictures. There are drawing lines. This one has a bunch of different ones on it, but with a more of a drier brush, if you cruise this way and then cruise this way so you don't see the lines, it's always lighter when you first put it on, so that could be tricky. Always do a test patch first, because there was one time I thought, wow, this matches great, and I painted all these little spots, so then when it dried, I got dark spots everywhere. So be careful of that. See, these are a couple that I have to fill in with the white. Then you just tap. And what I've been doing is just tapping my stir stick with the tip, putting that little bit of paint on there, dabbing, and then switching it to the drier side and just blending it so you don't have a big spot there of paint. See here, I had marks on this wall, had a little crack here. I filled it with this spackle you could buy at any Home Depot. That one was bought at Lowe's. Then, like these cracks that I have here, because the snow, it expands and contracts, and sometimes at the tarp lines, what do you call that, sheetrock lines or tape, aren't installed well, and just with over time. But this is what I'm talking about, just to tap the stick. It's just got that little bit. Because for me to paint this and go all the way up to the top, be a pain in the butt. This I filled with a white spackle, which is down there. I wiped out the excess. When you wipe, I go this way, not this way, because that will remove it. Then I got a little bit of paint on my brush. I'm just gonna smack it through. There's that one there. I gotta get a little bit more paint on my brush and smudge it. Not just one way, but another way, so you don't have a little bit of lines. When it dries, it blends a lot more. Ooh, a cobweb. Ooh, ha! Two stones in one, what do they call it? Anyway, I gotta get a little bit more paint. There's a spot there and there's a spot there that I have to just tip my brush, dab it, and then smudge it out. Have fun.